Year's tomorrow, I wanted to take a second and kind of explain why I think most New Year's resolutions fail, and also why I think they're stupid in general. January 1st rolls along, you're like, wow, this is my year. And then you start, doing your little tasks for a week, and then you filter out and become lame again. Or, you give yourself some impossible task that seems insurmountable and you give yourself no way to go around it. Or maybe you even give yourself this entire list of New Year's resolutions to do, but nothing ever changes. So I wanted to kind of explain why I think this happens and also what you guys can do to fix it in the future. It's my opinion that the best change really comes from when you want to change for yourself. So the concept of New Year's resolutions comes from wanting to change because everyone else is. The first motivator should be like, oh boy, I want to get better, not like, well, everyone's getting better, so it's my turn. Like, you're not gonna see long-lasting results if you're not changing for you, right? If year after year we keep failing making these changes, why do we never, think, there's probably a better way to do this? I've made so many New Year's resolutions in the past. When I was a kid, I was quite large, and I would always be like, well, I think, this is the year I lose weight. Technically, if I lost a single pound, that would have been losing weight. And the only way I knew how to lose weight as a child was to not eat. And that's just an eating disorder. Like, that's not sustainable. I didn't give myself a way to lose weight, or I didn't look into dieting or working out or anything that would help me accomplish my goal. And I feel that's where a lot of people stutter too. So I want to come on and share with you the 3 checkers I use when making any sort of goal, long-term or short. Like, I don't want to say these force you to succeed, but they make it really hard not to. So the first one is making it realistic and measurable. So say your goal was like mine, to lose weight. It's a very common theme to start working out. Going to the gym on January 1st is the worst experience ever. Like, I'm not gonna skip, but maybe I do, show up a little bit later in the day, because it's kind of awful in there. Even when people like going with like they don't know what they're doing. But so say you're like, okay, this year I'm gonna lose weight. How much weight are we losing? You'll do about a pound a week. That's not a very big strain. You can kind of incorporate into your life pretty easily. So that'd be about 50 pounds over the year, which I think for anyone is a great amount of weight. Very, very, it's something to be proud of. And then you're probably saying, oh, but what if I go above that? What if I lose 60 pounds in a year? Then you just did your goal better. Like, you don't have to set this like, I'm gonna lose 400 pounds this year. Like, that's not, just don't do that. So now you have a realistic goal, right? Losing 50 pounds, it's a pound a week, very doable if you just eat healthy. And once you hit 51 pounds lost, you have officially surpassed your goal and you can keep going, right? And if you're 50 pounds down, you're not gonna wanna stop there. Losing weight versus losing 50 pounds, you can already see the difference. So checker number 2 is making sure you actually want to do it. Because a lot of people put down like new hobbies they want to start for some reason. If you really wanted to start this hobby, wouldn't you have already done it? Say you put down skate every day. This year I'm gonna be a skateboarder. This year I'm gonna be super cool and learn how to do a kickflip. That's great, and I'm not saying don't try skating, but if you've never skated before, you're gonna need a board, and you're gonna need, the helmet. There's a lot of things you have to buy externally, and if you don't know if you already like it, you could be spending a good amount of money just to fail the New Year's resolution, and then you have all this extra stuff you don't want in your house. Maybe pick up a hobby you haven't done in a while. There's nothing wrong with that. Say you were a big, what's like a hobby? Say you were a big guitar guy back in your day. Why not bust out the strings, play a little tune, and then you can start to get into something you already have access to, and then finally hone a skill you've been putting off for such a long time. And the third checker is making sure that your New Year's resolution isn't stupid. I've already expressed that I think you don't need a single day to change, and you can really go and change whatever day you want to. Today's December 28th. What if I was just like, okay, now I'm gonna make a change. Just do that. Like, you can do this, any time of the year. You don't need a day to do it. I see people, they'll post a list online. They're like, yeah, 50 New Year's resolutions. They're all sick as hell. You really put down wake up earlier. Yes, they are good tasks to do and they do improve your life, but they're not something that will take you a year. So you just have 50 month-long tasks that you complete, and then by month 2 you flip back into your old ways because you've already done everything. Make New Year's resolutions just to have New Year's resolutions. They won't have something that actually takes effort and time and dedication. So sure, you have resolved something, but you really you're not you're not doing anything substantial. You can use New Year's Eve as a catalyst for change, and I think it's always good to want to improve yourself and better your life. You can do a New Year's resolution anytime. Sticking with my fat younger self, there's so many things I would have missed out on if I just had waited. So I think you really have to take the leap of faith and do something that you're uncomfortable with just to better yourself. Everyone in the world at the same time wanting to change for you to change, right? You need to be able to change for yourself. Well, that's it. Happy New Year's, and I guess the next video will take a year for me to post.